Hello everyone, it is Captain's Log, May 3rd, it's like 5:30 p.m. I got started late. It's pay the rent day, it's go shopping day, it's errands day. Oh, it's always fun. So you may notice my voice is a little off too. I have something I can't quite shake. It was one of the reasons why some things have gotten delayed. Like we're going to do a Fifth Element commentary here before Valerian City of Wonders comes out, I promise. It keeps getting delayed because of me having scratchy voice. Hey Jack, how are you? That's Jack behind us. He's probably going to destroy something before this is over. Won't that be fun? Anyway, yeah, feeling real sick. I went to the doctor. They told me I have a fatty liver, and which is doctor speak for lose some weight or you're going to die. So that's fun. Anyway, also been taking up a lot of my time is I have to figure out how to finally separate these iTunes feeds on the site so every show has its own feed. This is something I've been meaning to do forever. He's already destroying something, isn't he? Get down. God damn it. What was I saying? Trying to separate all the feeds into separate feeds, which is apparently a pain in the ass to do with WordPress, because it's not as simple as the simple version where you just go, there's one feed and it's that, like we have now. I am having a great deal of headache-inducing problems trying to figure it out, and I will! But Jesus Christ. Anyway, thanks you guys, subscribers. I can't tell you how much it helps. Literally, I live paycheck to paycheck, and while still trying to put up as much content as possible on the site for you guys. This new video thing, I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you tell more of the subscribers to check it out if they haven't yet. If you like it, tell people about it on your feeds. Tell people about the other stuff that you like from Oneofus.net. Nothing helps more than getting new people in here, new listeners, new people who want to be part of the us, as it were. Anyway, enough advertisement. I want to tell you real quick. Courtney, my wife, went to a yard sale a friend of us was throwing. I was totally out of it. I was literally couldn't get off the couch with the sickness. I was down with the sickness as I guess disturbed, said. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm very unhip. And she found a couple really cool geeky stuff that she brought home for us. I don't know how much she paid, so I'm not going to say that. But Jesus Christ, cat, get this, for instance, like King Kong, the Blu-ray set with the tin, the whole, yeah, I'm digging that original King Kong. That's how awesome is that. Also, yeah, check that out. Oh my God, it's the Mondo Dawn of the Dead print. One of them. I know it's not their most valuable print or anything, but boy, I do sure love that movie. It's so good. Another thing on my mind right now, it's killing me. Especially after doing Ragecast. I don't know if you got a chance to see that, where I was sitting right next to Jason Murphy wearing the VR helmet playing the new Resident Evil game, and I'm like, I want it so bad. And coming to terms with the fact that I'm just not going to have it for, probably ever. Not till it's, in pawn shops, because it's too fucking expensive. VR's kind of my thing. What are you going to do? Anyway, one thing I want to talk about real quick here. You can see this cover up here I'm showing on the screen. This is for a new book here called Sea of Rust. If you look on the author title there, yes, that is C. Robert Cargill, our buddy Cargill. His new book is going to come out soon. I have not read it. He's not given me an advance copy or anything. I'm sure some of our mutual friends have, but I am not one of those people who has. What he says about it, says that I have a new book coming out in September, and I'm super proud of it. Hope you guys enjoy it as well. 30 years after the war that wiped out humanity, the robots left behind face an even greater threat, each other. The book's number one New York Times bestselling author Joe Hill calls the book a 40-megaton cruise missile of a novel. It'll blow you away and lay waste to your heart. The most visceral, relentless, breathtaking work of science fiction in any medium since Mad Max Fury Road. Then Cargill says, I cannot believe I have a book with that quote on it. This is insane. Hey guys, support Cargill. He's good people. His last two books are really good. 2 out of 3 of the movies he did were really good. And I can't wait to pick up a copy of this myself and read it. I'm super excited. I hope I'm not one of the people who has to wait till September. Like Cargill watches this. He doesn't watch this. Anyway, let's move on to one of the big things, the main topic this week, which is our next Deliberations of Doom show is going to be a horror well, of course it's hard. It's a horror podcast. It's going to be a look at vampires, which was only a matter of time. No, we're not talking about Twilight any more than jokes or any of the more traditional affairs. Although I am going to say we're going to start off talking about the original Nosferatu and the original version of Dracula. But after that, let each of us pick 2 movies that we thought were, really good vampire movies, but were like maybe not directly on the more traditional vampire path. And maybe some that were as well. And first, we all put together a list of possible suggestions. And that was actually the most fun part, looking up some of the stuff I hadn't heard of. But thought y'all might be curious to see what was actually made on the list. I'm not going to tell you what the picks were that each of us made. You'll have to wait for the show. But I'd be curious to see you guys' guesses. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll do something nice for whoever, if anybody gets the most amount of guesses right, with who picks them. All right, the guesses were Nadja. Have not seen that. Looking forward to that one. 30 Days of Night. Didn't like it when I saw it before. We'll see. I guess I'll watch it again. Near Dark. A masterpiece. Only Lovers Left Alive. Really great. Herzog's Nosferatu. Since we're doing the original, someone suggested maybe we should do Herzog's as well. Vampire's Kiss. I think it's not technically a vampire. Well, it is a vampire movie. It's just not... There aren't vampires in it. Just people who think they are. If you've never seen it, it's Nicolas Cage's wackiest performance. Martin. George Romero. Great movie. Desperately needs a Blu-ray re-release. Maybe it got one recently and I just missed it. Da Sweet Blood of Jesus. Somehow missed this one. It's Spike Lee's vampire film. Vampire. Another one of the very early. In fact, I think that may have even come out before Nosferatu. I'm not sure. Shadow of the Vampire, which is sort of a comedy about what if the guy who was playing Nosferatu, Max Schreck, was actually a vampire, was actually a Nosferatu, and was killing people. With William Dafoe as the vampire, I think. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Habit, another one I haven't seen. Daybreakers, love that movie, super fun. Thirst, the Korean vampire movie, very, very good. Byzantium, very arty and crazy. Prowl, haven't seen that one. Fright Night, either the original, which I grew up with, as like a classic for me, horror comedy classic, or the remake, which I thought is one of the most underrated of the 80s movie remakes. I actually thought it was pretty solid. Bloodsucking Bastards, which I just watched for the first time last night, and it's okay. It's got Fran Kranz in it, who I really like, and there's a couple of genuinely funny moments, but... Let's Scare Jessica to Death. No one remembers this one, or that it was a vampire movie, but it was a super creepy, surreal, weird 70s haunting, sort of ghost, sort of vampire movie. Blade and/or Blade 2. Notice we did not mention Blade 3, because it's terrible. The Hunger. Maybe a little too on the nose, but, it's a vampire classic. The Addiction, Abel Ferrara, same guy did Bad Lieutenant. Summer of Blood, there's a weird, arty, imagine if, Dan Harmon got bit by a vampire. That's pretty much what that's like. Yakuza Apocalypse, which is Takashi Miike's, one of his most fun, batshit crazy movies, and it's definitely a return to the older style that he just did recently. If you haven't seen Yakuza Apocalypse, about vampires versus Yakuza and Yakuza vampires and what have you, it's awesome. What We Do in the Shadows, of course. The Last Man on Earth, which is the original, the first filmed version of, damn it, what the hell's the name of that film with Will Smith? I Am Legend, but in this case with Vincent Price, and pretty much dead on an adaptation of the book, as opposed to the Will Smith version. The Lost Boys, because, let the right one in. Obviously, modern classic. Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is to say, Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. I will say, man, that soundtrack to Bram Stoker's Dracula, not only is it the best thing about that movie, which does have a lot of good things, it just unfortunately has really terrible performances by Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves, but it's one of my favorite soundtracks ever to any movie. It's so terrific. Check it out. Mr. Vampire, Hong Kong hopping vampire movie. It's there's a lot of Hong Kong hopping vampire movies, but Mr. Vampire is still my favorite of them. Lair of the White Worm, really abstract, cool as shit Ken Russell horror film where the vampires are kind of like snake vampires. They got big curved fangs and they spit like acid. It's really cool. Life Force, another weird, different type of vampire movie based on a very strange book called The Space Vampires by Colin Wilson. And it is just that. It's sexy space vampires, man. And I'm not even kidding with the sexy. Holy crap. Lead vampire in here, I went through puberty instantly when I was watching this movie. It's Sproing! Yeah. And then Afflicted, which we actually reviewed not that long ago, maybe about a year and a half ago on Digital Noise. Really great, out of nowhere little indie vampire movie. Anyway, that's going to be it for this week's show. Jack, get down with there. See what I have to deal with? This is probably why I'm sick, because my voice is getting bad, because I have to yell at them all the time to stop being so evil. They're cats, part of the deal. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'll figure out something else to do tomorrow. It'll be fun. I'll show you some more cool shit. It'll be awesome. Bye.